Hello there, darling loving soul. You're very welcome to this office and this channel. Now, are you looking for some guidance as to how can you connect with our beautiful planet Earth as well as the divine at the same time? Now, if that's what you're after, you're in luck, my friend, because here we are, and the whole video series today will be all about actually figuring out how can we connect to the divine and planet Earth at the same time. And specifically about, the practice when you go into a bit of a trance, a meditative state. How is it that some people can actually feel like they're flying, like they're seeing various images, symbols? They might be connecting with their ancestors or loved ones across the veil, or they might be seeing various messages sent through to them via their angels or guardians or whoever that might be that is guiding a particular individual on their lifetime. Perhaps you've been one of those who have tried the whole meditation approach. You've been lying still or doing some breath work and various practices, but it's not quite working out for you, as in you might not be experiencing the results that some other people are. Well, if that's the case, feel free to watch this video series until the end, all parts, part 1, part 2, part 3, and I will share a breakthrough practice that has happened in my life about 3 or so months ago, and it has actually helped me go from simply feeling like I'm lying down on my yoga mat or bed trying to meditate or trying to be still, compared to a place now where I am actually visualizing things, or I'm sent messages and I am able to pick up on the universal signs a bit more. Now, what's the worst would happen if you didn't actually find out, or find out what this practice is all about, and you kind of didn't practice it? Well, the worst thing that could happen is you might not actually be connecting with your spiritual self or your higher self or your guardians, angels or ancestors, or you might be connecting but you're not actually picking up on the signs. It's like the radio signal isn't quite working well. You're trying to seek for it, or you're trying to connect the radios on, you're not actually receiving any information. It's just harsh sounds, or it's just not working out. You're not actually hearing the radio properly, right? So through a little bit of tuning here and there, that's what might get you into the results. And the fact scenario is, for this video series on the subject of connecting to the divine and planet Earth at the same time, is I simply was one of those individuals who has started delving into my spiritual practices and trying to connect with the divine, and I found it quite challenging and really I struggled. And then I sought out some more information, found a community of people who are like-minded, who think alike, similar values or similar spiritual ideals, and through a few meditative trances in like a group setting, there was one night in particular where I went from feeling like I'm simply lying down on my yoga mat on the floor, kind of forcing the meditation a little bit, or trying to visualize certain things that you are guided to or directed to. And you know what I'm talking about if you've been to these group settings before, or perhaps you've tried some yourself using guided meditations through YouTube or other channels out there. And so the breakthrough happened during one night when I literally went from feeling like I'm lying on the ground, some things are being imagined, to actually feeling like I'm flying. I am moving through the universe. I am seeing colors. I'm seeing other beings. I am receiving answers to some of the queries that I'm posing. And since then, I thought that was a bit of a breakthrough. I've been practicing it ever since, and I am here to share that with you today. Now, the universal laws that are at play here, I'm just going to sort of blurt them out as they come to mind. So the first one is our physical body. This is all about the technology, the vehicle that we incarnate into, and we use it for the purposes of walking through, planet Earth, going through this lifetime and experiencing all that this planet has to offer and this lifetime has to offer. And the truth is, all the interesting, by design, when we go within, when we start doing something different when we start a slightly different practice, but using our body in a slightly different manner, all of a sudden you might have this new world open up to you, including being able to tap into your spiritual body, which is all still within you, the spirit that's inside of you, right? And if you have seen my other videos, I have mentioned it a few times that we are effectively spirits having a human experience. And so the meditative practice that you might be trying, or the one that I'll be sharing that works for me, it's all about tapping into that spirit and actually using that side of you in order to, get the answers that you require, or feel a little bit more tranquil and have a bit of peace of mind. So the body, the other universal law that sort of comes into mind, it's all about the universe, okay, and the fact that we're all connected, that we are one web of connections. We're actually all united, even though it may seem like we are not. By design, our eyes can see a certain spectrum, so our visuals come through, and the whole point is that out of the full light spectrum, we can only see so much, and that's by design. You're not born with eyes that can see the full spectrum, but using what you may have heard, your third eye, which is in your mind, kind of the representation is around here, the chakra that you get there, you will be able to tap into the other sides of the light that your physical eyes cannot see. Likewise, the same issue is with like sound, right, and noise. Our ears can hear so much. We know that, right, because we know that animals, dogs for instance, can hear so much more than humans can. So it makes sense that there's actually more out there than what we can hear. And the whole point with that is this one web of connections, and that we're all united all the time, is using your physical body and tapping into your spiritual world. You can actually tap into that one web of connections and go into this other realm where you can effectively, just for a moment, even sort of step out of the limitations and restrictions of the physical body, the vehicle, the machine that we incarnated into, and actually go and explore the rest of the universe and the answers that you may want. So, and if there's any more universal laws that come to mind, it's all about, that intention is that freedom of choice. So with a lot of this practice, no one's going to force you to do it, and I'm certainly not imposing that you do this. I hope that you get inspired by my story and some things that I'm going to share as to how I connect to the divine and planet Earth at the same time, and it might encourage you to try something new. Think of have some new thoughts, new ways of thinking, a new approach, and who knows, I truly do hope that that might be the breakthrough that you need in your life in order to be able to receive the answers from the universe, be able to tap into these other realms, and actually be more just perceive a bit more information and data that is out there that your physical body might not be able to actually pick up on. Now, with that in mind, I forgot to turn my hourglass back, and that's not the end of the world. I'm going to do that now. Let's jump into part 2 of the video series, which is always everything about the application of the universal laws, and sharing some practical tips using the Holy Trinity of love, thinking love, speaking love, and doing love. Click on the link down below for part 2, and I will talk to you and share with you my suggestions and practical tips about what you can do in order to connect to the divine and planet Earth at the same time. Click down on the link below, and I will see you shortly.